Alright guys, I'm back with days 15 through 18 of my 31 Days of Horror Challenge. I have three movies I'm going to talk about today, so I'm just going to begin. Okay, first up we have Stephen King's Graveyard Shift. The story was originally called Graveyard Shift, but they had to put Stephen King's name above the title because there was another movie that came out in '87 about a vampire cabbie, and that was also called Graveyard Shift. So this movie is about a guy played by David Andrews who comes to this textile mill to work. He's like a drifter, and like this, the mill's like really dirty. Like even the upstairs part is kind of nasty and wet and stuff. And the place is infested with rats. Excuse me. And the place is about to be condemned. So the owner arranges like this a crew to clean out the basement. And while they're cleaning out the basement, they discover a sub basement. And then while they're exploring that, they end up getting trapped down there, and they end up getting attacked by a giant bat rat hybrid creature thing. This movie is a lot of fun, and it's got like a lot of recognizable names in the cast. You have Brad Dourif, who plays the exterminator, and he's like really over the top, and a lot of fun. There's a scene where he's talking about the rats in Vietnam, and he's really chewing up the scenery and overacting in the scene. It's a great scene. It goes on for about a good 3 minutes. The movie also stars Andrew Divoff, who was the Wishmaster. So basically you have Chucky and the Wishmaster in the same movie, although they don't have that many scenes together, unfortunately. And Brad Dourif's character gets killed off, actually by accident, unfortunately, and he doesn't really get a chance to battle the rat creature, which would have been kind of fun. The creature itself is done with traditional, stuff. It's not like CGI'd, which is good. Like it's practical effects for the creature. And the thing that I did like about this movie is there's a character that dies off towards the end that you were expecting to make it through the whole movie, and the character doesn't. So that was a bonus. This film also stars an actor named Stephen Matchett. Now he played the father in Monster Squad. He was the sheriff in Monster Squad. So it was kind of nice to see him in this movie. And when they go, and he plays the manager of the textile mill. And when they go into the sub basement and the creature attacks, he really gets crazy. Like it's almost like he's starring in a different movie. Like he becomes like a secondary villain. Although they didn't really need it, but his overacting was worth the price of a rental as well. So let's go on to the next movie. Alright, we have Snoop Dogg's Hood of Horror. And this is an anthology movie, and it's not a very good one. This film has a lot of recognizable faces in it. You got Danny Trejo, Ernie Hudson, Billy D. Williams, Jason Alexander has a cameo. Lin Shaye's also in the movie. This film, you can tell it was inspired by Creepshow, and even like Tales from the Hood, which is a much better Hood horror anthology movie than this one, although it's out of print and hard to get. Basically, the movie starts out and it's like animated for the first 5 minutes, and it's telling Snoop Dogg's tale, and he plays this gangbanger who accidentally kills his sister in a shootout, and then he sells his soul to get his sister back, and then he becomes this kind of crypt keeper like character that addresses the audience, and it tells three tales. None of the tales are very good, which is unfortunate. Usually when you're dealing with an anthology movie, you got to have at least one or two really good short stories, but these are all mediocre. The first one is about this girl, and she's a graffiti artist, and I guess her parents died when she was really young, and she's still messed up about it. But she ends up running into Danny Trejo, who plays some kind of demon character, and he tattoos bones on her hands, like a skeleton hand on her hand. And whenever she crosses out somebody's name, they die like accidentally, kind of like in a Final Destination movie. There's only really like a couple good kills in this story, and they're actually probably the best kills in the whole movie. But other than that, her fate wasn't deserved. Like she wasn't that mean of a character, but they decided to punish her anyways. The second story is about this guy that has to stay with his buddies, with his father's war time buddies. They're all veterans. It turns out that he killed his father, but in the will, he had to stay with them for a year or he wouldn't get any money. So basically, it's 15 minutes of him abusing these men until they decide to get their revenge. And the third story is more rap based, and it's about this rap star that screwed over his buddy, and he gets his comeuppance. I don't know. It was a really weak story. The main problem I had with this was that there was way too much hip hop music in it. I know like it's Snoop Dogg and all that stuff, but it was almost like they were trying to sell the music, and the music really ruined the atmosphere of the movie. All right. Last up, we have Madhouse. And this movie is from 1981, and it's a slasher movie, but it was directed by an Italian director, so it feels more like a giallo, which is actually kind of welcome because it's a really odd movie. The on-screen title of this movie is There Was a Little Girl. And the reason for that, I think, is because one of the killers in this movie loves to recite nursery rhymes when they're stalking the person. There's also a killer dog and a deformed, crazy twin sister in this movie. There's a lot of good weirdness in this movie, especially in the last half hour. This movie is really odd and is in an awesome kind of way. One of my favorite scenes in the movie is like there's a dog attack, and the dog is attacking this woman, and just when you think she's dead, she starts struggling again. So you think, oh, okay, she's got to be dead. No, she's fighting again, and the dog's already got his mouth around her throat, so you would think that would be it, but no. It's actually the best kill in the movie, I think. I really enjoyed this one, and I suggest you check it out when you get a chance. Alright guys, so that's it for now, and I'll talk to you all later.